Welcome back to the channel, where everyday pocket change could be hiding extraordinary rarest coins. Today we're taking a closer look at one of the most talked about coins in modern U.S. history, the 1965 Washington quarter. Now, at first glance, the 1965 quarter might look like just another regular coin. You've probably held dozens, maybe hundreds, of them without giving it a second thought. But what if I told you one single 1965 Washington quarter reportedly sold for an incredible $1.9 million? That's right, a 25-cent coin, nearly $2 million. And here's the kicker. Most people would have passed it off as ordinary. Oh, how does that happen? How does a coin most people overlook turn into a millionaire's treasure? Let's start with the history. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin quickly became a staple in American currency. From 1932 until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver. But everything changed in 1965 due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage. The U.S. Mint made a major shift. Starting in 1965, quarters were no longer made of silver. Instead, they were struck on a copper-nickel clad composition. The new planchets had a copper core and a nickel outer layer, making the coins cheaper and faster to produce. This makes the 1965 Washington quarter a transitional year coin. And that's where things get interesting. The vast majority of 1965 quarters are common. The Denver and San Francisco mints did not strike any quarters that year, so all 1965 quarters were made at the Philadelphia Mint and do not carry a mint mark. The total mintage? Over 1.8 billion coins. Yes, billion with a B dot, but among those billions, a few incredibly rare errors slipped through the cracks, and one of them changed everything. You see, during the transition from silver to clad planchets in 1965, the U.S. Mint was still working with leftover silver blanks from 1964. A small number of quarters dated 1965 were accidentally struck on these older silver planchets, a minting mistake that created a true rarity. That's how we get to the legendary $1.9 million quarter. One example of a 1965 Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet, in pristine mint state condition, reportedly sold for nearly $2 million. Why? Because it checks every box a collector dreams of. It's a transitional error. It's struck on the wrong metal. It's in exceptional condition. And it's one of only a few known to exist. To the naked eye, this coin looks like any other quarter. But its weight, color, and metallic ring give it away. A standard 1965 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver quarter, on the other hand, weighs about 6.25 grams. That small difference is huge in the world of coin collecting. And if your coin has that beautiful silver luster and a sharp strike, you might just be holding something rare. Oh, how do you know if your 1965 quarter is worth millions? Here's what to do. First, weigh the coin. Use a precise digital scale. If your 1965 quarter weighs around 6.25 grams, you may have a silver planchet error. Second, check the edge of the coin. Clad quarters show a copper-colored strip along the edge. Silver coins have a solid silver edge. No copper should be visible. Third, listen to the sound. Drop it gently on a wooden surface. Silver coins make a distinct high-pitched ring, different from the duller thud of clad coins. If your quarter passes these tests, don't spend it. Do not clean it. And absolutely do not attempt to alter it. Instead, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A proper evaluation and certification can authenticate your coin and potentially change your life. Now let's be clear. Most 1965 quarters are not worth more than their face value. Even in great condition, a typical clad 1965 quarter might fetch between $5 and $20. But those rare silver planchet errors, especially in uncirculated condition, can be worth thousands. And in the case of that one extraordinary piece, it was valued at nearly $1.9 million. That's the kind of story that fuels the dreams of collectors everywhere. So the next time you get change at the grocery store or search through an old jar of coins in the attic, take a moment. Look closely. That plain-looking quarter might be something very, very special. Because in the world of coins, the smallest details can hide the greatest treasures. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story of history, mystery, and money, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a future upload. Drop a comment below and let us know. Have you checked your 1965 quarters? You might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your change close. Happy collecting! Let me know if you'd like this adapted into a shorter video, formatted for voiceover, or paired with visual editing suggestions. Welcome back to the channel, where pocket change becomes treasure and everyday coins turn into once-in-a-lifetime discoveries. Today, we're diving into the surprising world of the 1979 D Washington quarter. At first glance, it's just another common coin, something you probably pass over without a second thought. But what if I told you one of these quarters is believed to have sold for an unbelievable $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent piece, the kind sitting in your kitchen drawer or hiding between your couch cushions, possibly valued at over $1 million. Let's find out why. The Washington quarter has been a fixture in American currency since 1932. It was created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the original look stayed consistent for decades. Washington's profile on the front, an eagle on the back, and a composition of copper and nickel for durability. In 1979, the Denver Mint produced the Washington quarter in massive numbers. We're talking over 489 million quarters from that year and mint mark. You can spot the Denver Mint version by the small letter D just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the coin's obverse side. How can something so common become incredibly rare and valuable? Here's the truth. Most 1979 D quarters are only worth face value. Even in slightly better condition, they typically bring in no more than $1 or $2. But as any seasoned coin collector knows, value comes from three major factors: condition, rarity, and error. Let's start with condition. In coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS or mint state grades being the cream of the crop. A 1979 D quarter graded MS 67 or higher is rare. Only a tiny number have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Even without any errors, those can go for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars at auction. Now let's talk about rarity. While 1979 D coins are not rare in general, specific variations and near-perfect specimens absolutely are. Some of these coins were struck with unique die errors or on unusual planchets, blank metal discs that were never meant for quarters. And this brings us to the legendary $1.4 million 1979 D quarter. This particular coin was unlike any other known example. It was reportedly struck on a silver planchet left over from earlier minting years, giving it a completely different metal composition from the standard copper-nickel clad. Not only that, it was certified at an extremely high mint state grade, possibly MS 68 or better. Combine that with the fact that it was a clear mint error, and now you're talking about a coin that's not just rare, but one of a kind. It's the perfect storm. A modern coin, not ancient or gold, but worth more than a Lamborghini, more than some homes, more than what many people earn in a decade. All because of a rare combination of mint mistake, extraordinary preservation, and collector demand. But here's what makes this even more exciting. You could have one too if that's right. These kinds of discoveries often happen by accident. People find valuable coins in old piggy banks, inherited collections, or in rolls of change from the bank. The only difference between their find and your quarter is attention. They looked closely. They knew what to look for. So here's what you need to do. Step 1. Check for the D mint mark. You want to focus on quarters from 1979 with a clear D on the front. Step 2. Look for signs of a mint error. Does the coin have an unusual shine or color? Does it feel lighter or heavier than normal? Is anything off-center, doubled, or missing? Step 3. Inspect the condition. A high grade means sharp details, no scratches, and that almost new shine. If your quarter looks unusual or better than average, don't ignore it. Weigh it. Photograph it. Compare it to images of known error coins. And most importantly, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. For just a small fee, they can confirm if you're holding something truly special. Remember, most coins won't make you rich. But once in a while, someone finds the one. That one in a billion coin that slipped through the cracks of the U.S. Mint and into circulation. The 1979 D Washington quarter that made headlines for its $1 million price tag is proof that it can happen. And it might just happen to you. So the next time you get change at the store or crack open your coin jar at home, take a second look. That plain old quarter might not be so plain after all. Thanks for watching. If you love rare coin stories, collector tips, and real-life treasure hunts, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1979 D quarter or any rare coin you want to learn more about. Who knows? Your next coin could be worth a fortune. Until next time, happy hunting and keep your eyes on the change. Let me know if you'd like help turning this into a voiceover-ready version. Want visual scene suggestions for editing, or need a version optimized for Shorts or TikTok? Welcome back, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising stories in American numismatics, the 1989 D. Washington quarter dollar. It's a common coin to many, but there's a twist. One of these quarters, yes, a 25-cent coin, reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Sounds insane, right? So let's dig in and find out why. First, a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, designed by John Flanagan, to commemorate the 200th birthday of our first president, George Washington. It quickly became a staple in American pockets, purses, and piggy banks. Over the decades, the design has changed, but the quarter remains one of the most widely used coins in U.S. circulation. Now let's jump to 1989. The 1989 D. Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as shown by the little D mint mark on the front of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That year, the Denver Mint struck over 896 million quarters. So at first glance, the 1989 D doesn't sound rare at all, right? But here's where things get interesting. Among those hundreds of millions of coins, a few special ones slipped through the cracks. These are not your average quarters. We're talking about error coins, high-grade coins, and in one extraordinary case, a quarter that is said to have sold for over $1.3 million due to a combination of factors including rarity, error, and pristine condition. Let's break it down. First, we have condition. Coin collectors grade coins on a 70-point scale, with MS 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Most 1989 D quarters you find in circulation are in rough shape, scratches, wear, loss of detail. But a 1989 D quarter in MS 67 or higher is extremely hard to find. One in near-perfect mint state can easily fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars from collectors. Now add in a mint error, a misstrike, off-center strike, double die, or even a transitional planchet. These errors happen during the minting process, and while the U.S. Mint tries to catch them, a few sneak out into the world. Combine a rare error with a high grade, and now we're talking serious money. The legendary $1.3 million 1989 D quarter reportedly had both. It was a mint state specimen, possibly MS 68 or higher, and featured a dramatic mint error, possibly a double strike or off-metal planchet that made it stand out as one of a kind. It was authenticated and graded by a top-tier service, making it a verified treasure. But remember, not all 1989 D quarters are worth a fortune. Most are still worth 25 cents. Even a circulated one in decent shape might only bring in 50 cents or $1 to a collector. But if you think you've got something special, maybe an uncirculated coin, maybe a strange-looking strike, maybe an odd metal tone, then it's time to take a closer look. Here's what you can do. Point 1. Grab a magnifying glass and inspect every detail. The date, the lettering, the edges. 2. Weigh the coin. An official clad quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is way off, that could be a sign it's struck on the wrong planchet. 3. Look for doubling on the letters or numbers. That might indicate a double die error. And finally, get it graded. Professional grading by companies like PCGS or NGC can not only authenticate your coin, but skyrocket its value by confirming the grade and condition. So what's the lesson here? It pays to pay attention to your change. The 1989 D quarter might seem ordinary, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth more than a sports car, more than a house, even over $1 million. And while the $1 million sale is the extreme exception, valuable coins are out there. Right now, in circulation, waiting to be discovered. So the next time you hear that clink of coins in your pocket or your change jar, take a second. That quarter could be your golden ticket. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss a find. And let us know in the comments. Have you ever come across a rare coin in your pocket? Maybe a 1989 D with a strange twist? Keep hunting. Keep learning. And as always, happy collecting. Let me know if you want a shorter version, voiceover tone suggestions, or visual cue inserts for video editing. Washington Quarter Dollar, covering its history, coin details, values, and the viral $1.5 million claim. This script avoids brackets and stars and is formatted as a spoken video rarest coins. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a coin that has recently gained serious attention among collectors and investors, the 1986 P Washington Quarter Dollar. That's right, a regular-looking quarter that some say could be worth as much as $1.5 million. Sounds unbelievable. Let's explore the history, the design, the mintage, and the truth behind this mysterious and valuable coin. Now, if you've ever come across a 1986 quarter with a P mint mark, you might be thinking it's just pocket change. Maybe you even tossed one into a vending machine or left it in your car's cup holder. But what if I told you that one special example of this exact coin might be worth more than your house, your car, and maybe even your retirement account? Let's start with the basics. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse, or head side, was designed by John Flanagan and features a left-facing bust of Washington. The reverse shows the majestic eagle, wings spread, clutching arrows and olive branches. This design remained unchanged for decades, including in 1986 that the P Mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And in 1986, the Philadelphia Mint produced a whopping 551 million of these quarters. That's right, over $500 million. So how can any of them possibly be rare or worth a fortune? Well, here's where things get interesting. Most 1986 P quarters are only worth their face value, 25 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, they might sell for a couple of dollars. But a few rare errors and high-grade examples have sold for serious money at auctions. And then there's the mysterious $1.5 million coin that's been making headlines online. Oh, what's the deal? Is it hype? A scam? Or is there actually a quarter from 1986 that could fetch that much money? Let's break it down. There are a few key factors that can make a common coin extremely valuable. These include mint errors, condition or grade, rarity, and collector demand. First up, mint errors. These are mistakes made during the production process, things like double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and missing elements. If a 1986 P quarter has a dramatic and rare mint error, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a 1986 P quarter struck on a dime planchet, meaning it was mistakenly struck on a smaller blank intended for a dime, has sold for over $500 at auction. There are also double die errors, where the coin design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. While no major double die varieties are officially listed for the 1986 P quarter, new discoveries are always possible. Collectors are constantly on the hunt, so never underestimate your pocket change. Now let's talk condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS70 being a flawless, perfect coin. A 1986 P quarter in MS67 or higher is extremely hard to find. Why? Because most of these coins were mass-produced for circulation and quickly worn down in everyday use. Finding one in pristine, untouched condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. In fact, a 1986 P Washington quarter graded MS67 by PCGS has sold for over $2,000. And that's without any rare error, just pure condition. Now, about that $1.5 million claim. Some websites and social media posts have gone viral saying that one example of the 1986 P quarter is worth that much. But as of now, there is no confirmed auction or sale that supports that exact value. However, it's possible that what's being referred to is a unique specimen with both a rare error and a perfect grade, maybe even an unknown variety that hasn't been certified yet. Remember, the rarest coins often go unnoticed for years, hiding in plain sight. They can be discovered by everyday people just like you checking their change drawer, going through old jars of coins, or even inheriting a collection from a relative. What should you do if you find a 1986 P. Washington quarter? First, check its condition. Does it look shiny and untouched? It could be uncirculated. Next, look for anything unusual, off-center designs, doubling of the letters or numbers, or any part of the design that looks strange or out of place. If you find something that looks off, don't spend it. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it's not worth millions, it could still be worth far more than 25 cents. And who knows? You might be the one to discover the next rare variety that sends shockwaves through the coin collecting world. In conclusion, while the average 1986 P. Washington quarter is common and not worth much, rare errors and high-grade examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And while the $1.5 million claim might be exaggerated or unverified, the truth is that the coin world is full of surprises. And sometimes, it only takes one amazing find to turn a simple quarter into a life-changing treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin videos, and leave a comment below. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy collecting and keep checking your change. You never know what treasures are out there waiting to be discovered. Let me know if you want this edited into a blog post or broken down into chapters with timestamps. Script focused on the 1988 D. Washington quarter dollar. Rarest coins. Diving into its history, coin facts, potential value, and the attention-grabbing $1.6 million claim. This version is long, smooth for voiceover or narration, and does not use brackets or stars anywhere. About the 1988 D. Washington quarter worth $1.60 million. Welcome back to the channel. If you're into rare coins, valuable pocket change, or just want to know what to look for before you spend your next quarter, you're in for a real treat. Today we're going deep into one specific coin that has sparked a wave of attention in the collector world. The 1988 D. Washington quarter dollar. Some claim this little piece of metal could be worth as much as $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.6 million for a coin that you might be carrying in your pocket right now. So what makes this coin so special? Is it a rare mint error? Is it the condition? Or is it just internet hype that's gone out of control? Let's break it all down. We're going to look at the history, the design, the production numbers, and the real reasons why some examples of this coin might be worth a fortune. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was created to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design on the front, or the obverse side, was done by sculptor John Flanagan. It shows a left-facing portrait of Washington with the word Liberty above his head and the year of mintage below. On the back, or reverse side, you'll find the iconic eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath. This design remained in use until the state quarters were introduced in 1999. Now, let's focus on the year in question, 1988, and more specifically, the 1988 D quarter. That D mint mark means the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In that year, the Denver Mint produced over 596 million Washington quarters. That's a lot of coins. So how can one of them be worth over $1 million? The short answer is this. Not all quarters are created equal. There are a few key factors that can make a coin like this go from face value to headline-making value. The most important are condition, rarity, mint errors, and demand. Let's talk about each. First, condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A perfect 70 is called mint state or MS70. Most coins in circulation are heavily worn and would grade much lower. Finding a 1988 D quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is rare. But that alone won't get you $1 million. However, if you combine flawless condition with a rare error or variety, now we're talking serious money. This brings us to mint errors. These are mistakes that happen during the coin manufacturing process. They can include double strikes, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. In very rare cases, a coin might feature a combination of multiple errors. These unique coins are highly sought after by collectors. There have been reports of 1988 D D-quarters with dramatic mint errors. For example, a coin struck on a nickel planchet, which is smaller and made of different metal. Some examples have shown off-center designs or even die cracks running across the coin's face. These kinds of errors can increase the value of a coin by hundreds or thousands of dollars. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The rumored $1.6 million 1988 D-quarter. Is it real? Is there really a single coin out there worth more than a luxury home as of today? There has been no confirmed public auction sale of a 1988 D-quarter that reached $1.6 million. However, rumors began circulating online after some listings on collector websites and social media posts claimed that a perfect specimen with a double die error and flawless condition had been appraised or offered for that amount. While those claims may be exaggerated or unverified, the buzz has caused collectors everywhere to start checking their change more closely. And honestly, that's a good thing. Because whether or not the million-dollar coin truly exists, rare examples of the 1988 D-quarter do hold value, especially those with striking errors or coins graded at MS67 or higher. To give you an idea, a 1988 D-quarter graded MS67 by PCGS can sell for over $1,000. If it's MS68 or higher, the price can skyrocket. Add in a rare error or a newly discovered die variety, and you could be looking at a once-in-a-generation discovery. So what should you do if you think you found a valuable 1988 D-quarter? First, don't spend it. Put it somewhere safe. Next, check for obvious signs of an error. Is the design misaligned? Are parts of the lettering doubled? Is the color or size of the coin unusual? Then, look at the overall condition. Is the coin free of scratches, and where does it have that original luster that mint-fresh coins have? If so, you may have something special. Your next step should be to contact a professional. Reputable coin dealers, grading services like PCGS or NGC, and even coin shows can help you get a proper evaluation. You can also look up recent sales of similar coins to get a rough idea of market value. And here's the best part. You don't need to be a millionaire or a professional numismatist to find valuable coins. All it takes is curiosity, a little knowledge, and a careful eye. People all over the world are discovering rare coins in their everyday change. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt, and it's happening every single day. So in summary, the 1988 D Washington quarter is mostly a common coin, with hundreds of millions minted. But certain rare examples, especially those in high grades or with dramatic mint errors, can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. While the claim of a $1.6 million quarter hasn't been fully verified, it has inspired collectors everywhere to look a little closer. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to find the real deal. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just plain fascinating, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into valuable coins, money mysteries, and collecting tips. And drop a comment below if you've ever found a strange or rare coin. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep checking your change, because one ordinary-looking quarter could turn out to be worth a fortune. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version, a blog adaptation, or a second script for another coin. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today we're talking about one of the most talked about coins in recent months. A coin that looks so ordinary, you probably passed over it a dozen times. But now, collectors and investors are buzzing over it. That coin is the 1984 D Washington quarter. Believe it or not, there are claims out there that one of these coins might be worth as much as $1.7 million. That's right, $1.7 million for a coin you might find in your spare change tray or in an old coffee can at your grandma's house. So what's the story behind this coin? Why is it getting so much attention? What makes a coin from 1984 so special? And is the $1.7 million price tag real or just hype? Let's dive into the history, the coin's details, the known errors, and what you need to look for. Because if even one of those coins is worth that kind of money, you don't want to miss it. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been part of American currency since 1932. It was originally minted to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan. On the front side of the coin, or the obverse, you have Washington's bust facing left. The word Liberty is written across the top. The date appears at the bottom, and the national motto, "In God We Trust," appears to the left of Washington's profile. On the reverse, you'll see an eagle with wings spread out, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. This patriotic design was used for decades before being replaced by the state quarters in the late 1990s. And now let's talk about the 1984. D in particular, the D stands for the Denver Mint, which is located in Colorado. In the year 1984, the Denver Mint struck over 546 million Washington quarters. That's over 500 million coins. So by the numbers alone, the 1984 D quarter is not rare. In fact, most of them are still worth just 25 cents if they're in worn condition. But here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal. Some rare varieties, mint errors, and extremely high-grade coins are worth far more. The 1984 D quarter is no exception. In recent years, collectors have been hunting for rare examples of this coin that might include off-center strikes, double dies, planchet errors, or extremely high-grade uncirculated specimens. Let's break this down into what can make one of these coins truly valuable. First, mint errors. These are mistakes that happen at the mint during the production process. They can include double die errors, where the coin is struck with a misaligned die, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. Another common error is the off-center strike, where the coin design is not properly aligned and part of the image is missing or shifted. Then there are planchet errors, where the coin is struck on the wrong type of metal blank. For example, some quarters from other years have been found struck on nickel or penny planchets, or even on foreign metal blanks. These rare pieces have sold for thousands at auction. A coin like that from 1984 D could absolutely reach astronomical values if combined with the right condition. Now let's talk condition. Coin collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. Coins that are MS67 or MS68 are incredibly rare, especially from circulation coins. Most coins have scratches, dings, and signs of wear. But a flawless or near-flawless example of a 1984 D quarter can be worth a lot of money. We're talking thousands just for top-graded condition alone. But what about the $1.7 million claim recently? Online posts and collector forums have mentioned a 1984 D quarter valued at up to $1.7 million. The story goes that this particular coin was a unique error variety, possibly struck on a wrong planchet, with a dramatic misstrike, and found in pristine mint state condition. Some reports claim it was submitted for authentication and graded by a top-tier grading service. Whether that exact coin has been sold at a public auction is unclear. It may have been a private appraisal or part of a collector's personal stash. As of now, no public record confirms a $1.7 million sale. However, that does not mean the coin does not exist. In the world of coin collecting, some of the most valuable and legendary coins never make it to public auction. They change hands quietly among collectors, or they sit in safety deposit boxes for years. What should you be looking for first? Flip through your change and check the date. Look for 1984 with a small D mint mark under the word Liberty. If you find one, take a close look. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Examine the coin for any signs of doubling on the date, the lettering, or the motto. Check to see if the strike is off-center. Pay attention to the color and weight. If it seems lighter or smaller than a normal quarter, you could be looking at a wrong planchet error. Also, check the condition. If the coin has sharp details, no scratches, and still has its original luster, it might be uncirculated. That alone adds value. If you think you have something unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning can ruin the value. Instead, take it to a coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC.S. What's the final word on the 1984 D quarter? Most of them are worth face value. But the rare few with serious errors or in perfect condition can be worth hundreds, thousands, or in theory, even over $1 million. The $1.7 million quarter might still be out there. It could be sitting in a collection, waiting to be discovered, or maybe even lost in someone's junk drawer. But whether or not you believe the hype, there's no denying that rare coins have sold for mind-blowing amounts in the past. It only takes one unique coin to change everything. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more rare coin discoveries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let us know in the comments. Have you ever found a strange or rare coin in your pocket change? Who knows? Your story could be the next $1 million discovery. Until next time, keep your eyes open and keep checking your change. That ordinary-looking quarter might be worth more than you ever imagined. Let me know if you'd like a version with timestamp chapters, visuals description, or a blog article adapted from this script.